Good morning, everybody. How are you this morning? Let me get that in the right spot. Good morning. Welcome to High Vibes at 5:55. My name is Michelle House, and we're going to be talking about beliefs today. So we're going to have a little bit of a venture around our limiting beliefs and self-doubt. I had a most amazing conversation on a Facebook Live yesterday you could find it by clicking on the Osmompreneurs group or Women's Business School. And I had a great conversation with them yesterday about money and all things about money. So there's a little bit of my story and a little bit of my background in there, as well as talking about things like what is holding us back in our lives. Why are we still not living the life that we want to be living? So we wake up in the morning and sometimes it's more the other end, isn't it? We go to bed at night, we go, you know what, tomorrow's going to be a better day. I'm going to get started with this tomorrow and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And then the alarm goes off, or you wake up in the morning and go, how am I feeling about taking that walk this morning? Or how am I feeling about that list of 3 things I've got to get done today? And we sometimes stop and then don't move forward. And then that's day after day after day after day. So what is that? What is it that's holding us back? We know what we want. So up here, we've written it down. We've got a vision board. We've got a goal sheet. We've got a whatever. We know what we want. Yet taking the action to have that come into our lives doesn't happen. Or it happens for a little bit. And the consistency and the discipline kind of fades away. Here's the thing. When you have a desire, there's 3 things that come along with that desire in the action-taking phase. Consistency, persistency, is that a word? Consistent, persistent, and discipline. Those 3 things you have to keep repeating in order for what it is you want in your life to manifest and that desire to manifest, right? So what came up yesterday in the discussion, which I know comes up for most people, right? Probably 90% of the people that I work with have this very common belief. So I want you to put a little hands up or a like or something across the screen. Do you have this belief at anywhere? And if you had it at any point in your life, are you ready? I've got to work really hard to make money. If I'm not working hard enough to make money. I need to work 2 jobs to make money. I need to be working 60 hours in my business to make money. Who has those kinds of that belief system? For me, it was a really common belief system because I grew up watching my dad work 3 jobs. I grew up in a baby bassinet underneath my mum's desk when she went to work in the office. So there was no time out for living. It was all about working hard, working hard, working hard, working hard. And I can tell you, my parents weren't happy. They were miserable as fuck. They were not happy. They fought all the time. They didn't really do everything that they wanted to do. Yet they had this belief that was driving their existence around, I've got to work hard, I've got to work hard, we've got to make money, we've got to make money. So what can you guys take away from that? What can you look at that limiting belief and see how that's actually stopping you from living your life? Now, that's easy enough for me to say, right? Because I know you're all going, yeah, hang on, Michelle, but we've got bills to pay. We've got bills to pay, we've got children to feed, mortgages to pay, holidays to go on. Yeah, right, I know. But when we can recognize the belief and package it up and wrap it up into a nice little brown paper parcel and pop it over here, acknowledge it, have the awareness of it, and work with it, that is where our expansion and our growth happens. It's when we begin to radiate. When we radiate, we attract. Primary law for law of attraction. You have to be radiating it to attract it. You can't just wish it. You have to be radiating it, right? So I see lots of hands up this morning. So how can you package that limiting belief up? Recognizing it is the first step, and then looking at it from the place of, is that true? Is it true that I have to work my ass off? And the first image that pops into my mind is of myself working my ass off and not getting anywhere. It's kind of like, I'm working really hard, I'm working really hard, I'm working really hard, I'm creating new things, and nobody's buying. So what is the limiting belief that is holding me back? You know, here I am working hard. Maybe I need to just look at that belief and step back a bit and go, I know that that's not true. I know that in the past I have made money by not working hard. You've got to get clear about what working hard means to you too. You know, for me, that belief is all around working more hours, you know, hours in the office, or more networking, or more interaction in groups in Facebook or whatever. So take a step back and look at that limiting belief and see, is it true? Is it true that I have to work hard to have the life that I want to have? No, it's not. And when I take my hands off the wheel, again, if you can go back and have a look, have a listen to the conversation I had yesterday on that Facebook Live, when you can take your hands off the wheel and kind of sit in the back seat of the car for a bit, which I like to call the soul seat, sit back in the soul seat, you know, let the car move forward, but really sit in your soul and let the guidance come to you about what to do next. Your work is effortless, not no effort. We had that conversation. It's not no effort. You still have to make effort, but it's effortless. It's not hard. It's not long. It's not so many hours. It's not beating your head up against a brick wall. It's effortless. So less of the hard work, right? So one of the things that we do in the Rich Living Academy is every month we do the alchemy of intention setting. Because when you set an intention, it's really easy to go, this is the month that I'm setting the intention to make $10,000 in my business, or I'm setting the intention to start working my way out of my job and start my own business. There's a whole lot of world and a whole lot of universe that has to be bubbling around and do an activity in order for you to have what you want, right? So you need to put your desire out there with a very strong declaration. So for me, and I know for the people who are in the academy with me, is the part of the intention setting process is setting the intention. That's the first part. There's a whole world of stuff that happens after that. So you set your intention, and then as you start to think about that intention, say for example it is to work your way, this month is the month that I'm going to finish my corporate job and start my own business. And then the limiting beliefs and the self-doubt starts coming, right? And it's like, really? What are you going to do how are you going to do that? What are you going to do? How are you going to have money? What are you going to do how are you going to pay bills? You're not good enough. Do you really think you should be doing it that way? I don't know. And the little voice starts to chatter, right? And then you go, you know what, voice, I hear you, but my intention is this. And you keep staying with your intention, but you ignore the limiting beliefs and self-doubt rather than embrace and have a look at them. And that's what the process that we do in the academy is. We get the limiting beliefs and we go, oh, hello there. Look at you. Where did you come from? Who was the first person that said that to you? What was the experience I was going through? Because what happens to us in our lives in the past is what molds us. So if we're here and we're molded and we're going, I don't like it, I like the way that I'm molded, I want something different, you've got to go back and unravel a bit of the past. You've got to go back and have a look at it. And again, you're looking at these beliefs and going, hey, is that true? Actually, no, I am good enough. I'm really good at creating websites. I know that I can do that. I'm really good at it. And I have this client who I know will engage with me after I leave my job. So you start to then feel yourself into the intention. So you start to live into the intention, knowing that you have these limiting beliefs and self-doubts that you're erasing along the way. You're giving them a little rub out. They're still going to be there. You know, they're still going to be there. I still had that one this week. I'm not working hard enough. Michelle, you're really not working hard enough. Who do you think you are that you can only work 10 hours a week? Really? 10 hours a week and make that kind of money? I don't think so. So it still happens. Every time I try something new or I move and evolve and step up into whatever the next expansion space is for me, the limiting belief will come up, but I see it so quickly. Hey, how you doing? I'm not taking you out for coffee, but you can sit there while we go through this process. And I go through a process, again, we do it in the academy, where you can clear that stuff up, where you can unravel those pieces, where you can go, you know what, it's actually not true. I've been living this way with this truth for such a long time and it's not true. It's not true that I have to work my ass off. I have only worked 10 hours a week before I made a shitload of money and been okay with what I needed to be okay with. So when you can sit in that space and sit in the space of the soul in the backseat of the car, and you're still in the car, you're still going forward, but just take your hands off the wheel and sit in the backseat for a while. Because you know what happens in the backseat? You observe so much more that's going on around you. The driver's kind of here and focused here. They're looking down the road. Where am I going to turn? What's my next instruction? Where's the next red light? When you sit in the back seat, you actually can see more. I mean, haven't you done that where you sit in the passenger seat and you go, and you've driven this road 100 million times, and then someone else drives and you go, wow, look at that over there. So take a seat in the back seat, still going forward, you're still moving, but you're observing and seeing more things, and there's more opportunities there for you to grasp and to grab a hold of. All right. So good morning, everybody. Robin, thank you so much. Robin's sharing the link there for the academy. And the reason that I'm talking about this is because we actually are starting the next round this weekend. So if you want to join in with us, join in there and set your intention. The idea is that we go through the process for 2 weeks of cleaning up what we need to clean up, acknowledging and recognizing, acknowledging and recognizing what we need to recognize so that we can stand in our declaration. So we're moving from intention, which is, I would like, kind of not firm, but not as firm as you want to be, right? To I declare. I declare this is the way of the world and this is the way of my life. So if you want to be a part of that, jump on in. Michelle, those of you that are listening on the podcast, michellehouse.com.au/academy. It's a heap of fun. We have a great time in there. We share. It's a very safe space for everybody to put in what they're worried about, what they're concerned about. And there's lots of love and support and inspiration in there. So if you want to join, please do. I'd love to see you there. Have a great day. I will see you tomorrow.